Hi, my name is Sammy, and I'll take you guys through Catia sessions. We're gonna learn a couple things: how to build geometry, how to build parts, solids, surfaces, and then we're gonna switch to toolpath later on. So Catia opens up automatically in product, as we see right here. But let's start with the beginning. So let's go to let's close this window down. So we got two windows over here. We can if we go here, we're gonna shut off the whole Catia. We go down here, we turn off only the product, as we can see on the window. So right now we have open only one file, which is product. So let's go here, close this down. Now we don't have anything on the screen. This is blank. As you see right here, this square, we can see all the options I have for Catia. I customized this myself. I just put them over here. You can customize this on your own. Those are the basic icons that we're gonna be able to use. But let's go to start, see what we got. So let's close this down, and let's go to see what kind of option we have here. So we can go to start, and as you see, we got a couple options we're gonna be going through. Advanced machining, it's for creating the programs, the toolpath, and we have generative shape design. We can build surfaces, and we have part design. We can create all kind of solids. Then we have assembly design, which work hand in hand with part design. So in assembly design, we're gonna be able to assemble all the 3D, all the solids, put them all together, and I'm gonna create a nice assembly. Then we have product, structure, library, catalogs. We're gonna be using the sketcher a lot. On the sketcher, we usually build a wireframe, and then we're gonna be creating the solids from here. So sketcher, it's a very important icon we're gonna use. We're gonna use a lot the shape for surfaces, part design for the solids, and advanced machining to create all the toolpath. So sketcher is going to be an important one. Then we're going to use the drafting. We're going to show you how to create some drawings. Then we have wireframe and surface design. It's basically the same thing as the shape. Shape design has got all the options pretty much here, so we don't have to use wireframe and surface design. So basically the shape and surface design, it's about the same thing, but this is wireframe. And then last one, it's NC manufacturing review. So we can start right now with a part design. Click on part design. It's gonna take a second to load up. As you see right here, we have the axis system, and we have XY plane, Z and Y plane, X and Z plane. And the first, let's learn how to use the mouse a little bit. Now, if we do left click, we can we can grab this. Let's see. So if we do the left click, we can grab the compass and we can move it around. But I want to show you how to use the mouse to do everything. So let's create a quick, I'm going to go pretty quick down here just to create a quick part, so I can show you how to create the zoom, pan, and rotate. So I'm just going to throw a number out there. So I create myself a box. Now if we do the middle click and hold it down, we have the panning over here. Now if we do left click, we can rotate. So right now I'm having middle and left, both of them down. They both clicked. So now we have a rotation. If we let go of the left button, now we can do a zoom in and out. So let's do it again. Middle button, we have the panning. Now we're gonna click on the right button and hold it down. Now I have both of them down, middle and left. Sorry, middle and right click. Now we have a little rotation, so we can rotate the part. Now we let go with the right click. So right now I have only middle and I have zoom. If you want to jump to zoom right away, we do middle click and tap once the right click, then we have zoom right away. It's a little bit tricky at first, but you'll get used to it. So let's practice this a little bit. Middle click only. We have a lot of panning. So middle click, right click, rotation. Now we have middle and tap on the right click, we have zoom. So that's how we can establish the option of the mouse. Let's delete this part for now because I want to start with the sketcher. So I want to delete the sketcher. So now as you see, we went back to original axis. Let's go first into a sketcher mode. So in order to open a sketcher, see if we click on it, it doesn't go in a sketcher mode because it's looking for a plane. And as soon as I click on one of those planes, automatically it's gonna open the sketcher. So let's go on a XY plane. As you see, is the moment I click this, I have them over here, same planes. Let me take this. If we do a right click on those planes and put hide show, we can bring those up. So we have those planes right here. This axis, it's right here. We can hide it. So now we have just the planes. So if we want to start the sketcher on XY plane, we can click on XY. As you see on the screen how it gets the blue around it. Or we can do a top view right here. Now we are in a XY plane, and if I click on it, I just go on top of it without clicking, you can see the planes how they highlight. So let's give it a try. Let's click on XY plane, and as you see now we have the vertical line and horizontal line. Now let's see what we got here. We got the sketch tools, we got the grid. Some designers like to use the grid. We got the snap to point, and let's say if we create a regular line, you see yourself, snap to point, it snaps on every point. Let's take that option off. Now we can create a line freely without snapping on any points, or if we click on the grid, we can take the grid off. So we have a line. Can put the grid back on. See. Now we can see the moment we rotate this a little bit, we want to get back on the original plane, and it's hard to move it by eye to get it right on. So there is an icon over here. It's pretty handy. It's called normal to view. See, something's going on here. Let's see what we have. Let's close this one down. We got normal to view now. See, so we can rotate the part by if you made a mistake and got the sketch rotated, go back, normal view, click on it, we'll throw you right back. So let's delete this line for now. So we can create just a quick rectangular. So click on the rectangular. You see we have quite different options over here we can create. It's a profile. This will create multi-lines. But if you just snap it, you can create a line. But if you snap and hold it, it creates an arc. So snap and hold, then a quick tap goes line, line, line. Then if you hold it and drag it, it creates an arc, the direction you like to go. So as you see, now I'm gonna snap again, quick tap, you can create lines. And if you want to create an arc, you just click and hold and then you drag the direction you want to go, and there you have it. Now let's cancel this right here, escape again. Now click delete key and we'll delete it. Now we have a rectangular, and you see right here it has got a little window, the little arrow pointing down. See if we can click on it, we can see quite a bit of an option you can create in the rectangular. So let's try this. So bring your mouse on the screen, click, hold it down, hold it, then you let go, then it clicked again. Now we got the rectangular. Now if you click on the screen, we deselect it, and this is our lines. We can create a constraint, give it some dimensions. We can give it horizontal dimension also. Click on the constraint again. Click this line with this line, and we got our dimension. If you would like to change the dimension, just double click, and as you see right here on the definition constraint, you can change the dimension to 5 inches. Some of the programmers like to work in millimeters, so what we can do, we can go to Tools, Options, then we can switch to millimeters. As far as I know, the automotive industry, they like to use millimeters. So we can go to parameters. We got quite a few options we can click on, and if you go to units, we can go down on this bar right here. We can click millimeters, we'll click OK, and as you see how the dimension change automatically to millimeters, and we can change that also. And if you prefer inches, go back to Tools, Options. On General tab, we click on Parameters. Then we go back to Units tab. Then we click Inches. And as soon as I click OK, our constraints and our dimension change automatically. Okay, so let's delete this rectangular. You can highlight it. Just bring your mouse here, hold it down. See how everything got brown, and then click the delete key, and we delete it. We got a different kind of rectangular we can build. Same thing. we can go, if you want, we can go snap to points again, and we can see it how it's snapping on each point. Or we can take the snapping off and we can create a rectangular and a angle. Same thing, we can click on constraints, we can give a dimension, we can click again constraints, we can give a horizontal dimension. We can do this two ways. We can click on constraints again, we can click on this line and this line, then we constrained it. We got the dimensions right here. So let's delete this one. Let's see what kind of options we have down here. We got elongated hole, cylindrical, keyhole, hexagon. So we got quite a bit of option. We can create a rectangular. Then we have a circle. Same thing. If you look on this arrow down here, we can create it regular circle, then three-point circle. We can use the coordinates. So as you see, we have quite a bit of options. We can create a circle. So if you click on the circle, go anywhere on the screen, click anywhere and drag it as you wish, and tap. And if you double click on it, you can get your radius in here. As you see, change the radius. You can delete this or try it again. Let's give it a dimension. As you see, we have moved this up and down on this bar down here on the sketch tools. We can give it a dimension. As you watch the radius going up and down, we can jump in here, hitting the tab key, and we can change the dimension over here also. So that's a different way of creating a circle. So we got that circle right here. Go back on normal to the view. We'll just click this icon down here. That's our circle right here. So let's delete this. Let's see what kind of circles we have in here. The 3-point circle. This is very easy. Any 3 points on the screen and you have a circle. Let's see what else. Coordinates, tangent with the 3 lines. So if we have double click on the line, have line here, and a line here, we can click escape so we can get out of the line. Let's click on tangent, click on line number 1, 2, 3, and there's our circle. So let's delete this. We don't need this. Click on the circle and delete. So we have different options over here to create a circle, 3 points. But let me show you this quick. This is pretty handy. If you click on this icon only once, and you click on the line, you just create only one line. You cannot go any farther. See, this deactivated. But let's see, if you double click on the line, create one line, you can keep on going. If you watch this icon right here, it's activated. As you see, it stays brown. So we can keep creating lines. That way we don't have to go every time, click each line individually. See, right now I'm doing only once. See, it deactivates. So if you double click, you keep on creating lines, which is very handy. So right now let's delete all these lines right here. Click escape, delete, delete, delete. Normal to the view again. Let's zoom in a little bit. So let's try one more time. Click only once on the line. You can create only one line. If you want to create another line, you gotta go back on it we cannot create any more lines, as you see. So I gotta go back and get another line. Go back, get another line. That's not pretty handy. I like to double click on it and keep on going. It's a very easy option. It's very handy. So let's delete all these lines again. We can create an axis. Will help us for the revolution parts. We can create points, corner radius. If we have two lines, we can click escape now so we can deactivate it. Click on the corner, click on the line number 2, and as you see, we can create our corner radius. And down here, it's our sketch tools again. Before I snap into place, you can hit the tab key and you can change your radius 0.250, and there you go. Or if we do Ctrl Z, we can undo it. Click back on the corner icon. As you see, you have different kind of radiuses you can create. Click on line number 1, number 2. You can put it anywhere you want, but you can go back anytime later on. Just double click on the radius, on the corner radius, and down here we can change it to 0.250. See, that's the difference. If we do that, it moves the line. So if you do Ctrl Z, we can undo it, and we can do right click on this line. We can fix this line, and that way we know for sure it's not gonna move. Same thing over here. Right click, fix. So those lines are fixed. They're not gonna move anymore. Now if we go back on this radius, put the 250 in here, we got our corner radius, which I'm not too happy with this. So I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna delete this, and I like to create it my sketch toolbar. I moved it by mistake. You can move those toolbars anywhere. You can grab it, drop it. See, we can tune it on, tune it off. So for example, if you don't use the selection filter, we can close it. Go right click anywhere on the toolbars, and we can bring it back up again. So any options we're not gonna use, so you can take it out of here, put it back, you can move them around, and by mistake, if you turn them off, you can bring them back again. Let's bring this back here. Let's bring this back again up here. Let's put this back over here. They move a lot, those toolbars, but what I can do, we can lock them in place. Once you do your customize your toolbars the way you like, we can lock them in place, and they're not gonna move anymore. So if you go right click anywhere on the toolbar, we can go to customize and go to options. We can put lock toolbar, and we can't move them anymore. See, if we do right click over here, we cannot activate them. So if we take the lock toolbar options off, we have the options of adding again. So let's leave it on, because I want to show you, once we're gonna get off the sketch, a couple more options about those icons. So pretty much, let's try one more time. this line, create another line, and let's click escape, get out of here. Let's go to corner radius. Let's pick line number 1, line number 2, and before we snap it into place, let's click tab key, and let's type in the dimension over here, 1/4 inch. And let's see, as we zoom in here, we can tell we have a perfect tangency between this line and this arc. So that looks pretty good. I like this option better. Okay, we can do Control Z, undo it, or we can highlight this, delete it, or let's do, before we delete it, let's keep the lines. So let's click Control Z because we just did it. So let's undo it, Control Z, or we can do undo. We have it right down here, undo, Control Z. It's a short key. So let's give it one other try on this. Where's this chamfer? Let's give it a try. The chamfer works the same way as corner radius. Let's undo it, Control Z. Then we have trim. We have a couple options on the trim. We can trim the part, we can break it, quick trim, close, and complement. So trim, as I click on this, if you watch down here, we got a couple options. So we can trim these 2 lines, or we can break it. So right now we have line number 1 and line number 2. And we got the quick trim. Just let me give you a better example on the quick trim. If we have these lines like this, let's say I don't need these lines anymore. Let's take this one out of here. So quick trim will just trim the entity before the intersection. So let's try one more time. Control Z, click on the quick trim. If you double click it, it stays active. As you see, it's brown, so you can keep on trimming. So we can do quick trim or regular trim. So let's put it back again, Control Z. Oh, let's get out of the, okay, now Control Z, and let's try it again. A regular trim. It's basically the same option. As you see, we break it perfectly. Same option as a quick trim. Okay, we got the symmetry down here. So let's make a quick, let's delete these lines right here. So zoom in, zoom out. It was going to be kind of hard in the beginning to get used to the mouse. It was hard for me when I first started to rotate, zoom, and the pan. So once again, probably by now you already got used to it, but the middle button, just click it once, we get the panning. Right click and hold it. Now I have both of them clicked. I have the middle clicked and the right button clicked. Now I'm able to rotate. And if I want to do the zoom in and out, middle button, hold down, ready for the panning. But if I tap right click on the mouse, just tap it, I'm able to zoom. So panning, rotating, hold both of them down, and tap, I can be able to zoom. You'll probably get used to it by the time you get up to this point. So let's go back normal to the view. Let's say we want to mirror these 2 entities. We can drag the mouse and highlight them. We click on the symmetry, mirror, and it's going to ask you about what the axis you want to mirror. So we can go on a vertical line, or we can mirror on the horizontal line. Or if we have an axis over here, we can create an axis. Doesn't have to be vertical. So when it gets vertical, it's blue, or horizontal, it gets blue again. So we can put it in any angle we want. So we can create our axis or a line, doesn't matter. So if you want, we can mirror these entities about this line, or we can mirror these entities about this axis. Now as you see over here, we got a couple more options. We can do symmetry or mirror. Symmetry is pretty cool. Is instead of let's delete this, highlight it and click the delete key. We can highlight this and let's do a symmetry, and watch the difference. It just moves it on the other side. So that's the option we use right there. Now we have over here, sorry, let's go back to symmetry. We have a translate, rotate, scale, and offset. So those are pretty nifty features. So if you want to translate, just highlight the icons you want to translate. Then you want the start point, you want it to be this end right here. See, as soon as zoom in a little bit, as soon as I bring my mouse at the end of the line, it gets a full moon. You see right here, full moon right here. So that means it's the end of the line. So I want it to translate from this point to this point. And if you have a dimension you want to move it to, before you drop it, you just click the tab key. Oh, it seems like it's going over here. So let's hit this value over here. So let's say I want to move it 10 inches. So let's type 10, then enter, and watch this. While you move the part up and down, once you bring on the vertical dimension, automatically is gonna snap 10 inches apart. So right now, if you want to give it a double check, we can click on the constraint. We can click on this point with this point, and there's our 10 inches. So let's do it again. Let's delete this again from the screen. Let's give it one more try. Let's create a line. And we want to translate this line 10 inches. I click on the line. This line, we want to translate it from this point. We'll get the full moon. Any direction you prefer. So before you snap it, just go back to value over here, type in 10, then enter, and just bring it back to the dimension that you prefer. So that was the translate. Let's delete this. We got a couple more options in here. We got rotate, scale, and offset. So let's do a quick rotate before we lose too much time on this sketch mode. Let's create another rectangular, and let's create a point to rotate about. So let's go back here. Let's click on the rotate. Let's highlight it. Then it's going to ask us the point we wanted to rotate about and the point to start from. So we'll start from here. So we can rotate this. As you see, you can do it once on the instances. And this is the angle. So the more I rotate it, you can see the angle value changes So let's say you want to rotate this 3 times, and let's change the angle to 45 degrees, and then click enter, and there's our rotation right there. Okay, so let's highlight everything, delete this. We have an offset over here, so let's create a curve. So create ourselves a manual curve, click escape, and let's go to offset. Let's click on it, and we can offset it plus or minus. Before we snap it into place, let's hit the tab key a couple times till we get back here to the offset. And let's put our value to 5 inches. So that's our offset right there. Okay. So pretty much this option right here is pretty good. We use it to project curves from a model into this sketch. So I'm gonna make a pretty quick surface. So just for the heck of it, I'm gonna create this right now. You don't have to learn this pretty quick, but I want to create a quick thick surface over here. So you can click on the pad. Let's click thick, and let's give it a dimension. I guess we have to create a pad because it doesn't want to do it. So let's double click on this, go back on the sketch mode, and let's close this profile. Click escape. So now we close it, give it another try. There we go. We can drag this up and down. Click OK. There's our part. And let's go back into the sketch mode. For instance, in this case, I'm gonna create a plane parallel with the screen. So I'm gonna click on the plane, then I'm gonna click on the equation, parallel to the screen, click OK, and I'm gonna open a sketch. So as you see right now, our screen, it's parallel with that plane that I just created. So let's click now normal to the view, and this is that option that I was just talking about. Click on it, and then click on the curve the way you like. And now watch this. If we rotate it, we can see our curve is projected into our view. Okay, so that's pretty much all the options we have in the sketch mode. Okay, so let's just erase all this, get more familiar with the tabs before we get any further. I wanted to show you over here all the options that we have. This is pretty familiar. It's a Windows base. We have that normal view. So if we click on this and any plane, that's going to bring it parallel to the view. We've got the zoom in panning over here. We've got the planes. We can go front view, top view, back view. We can change all those right here. Then we have two levels. We have the blank, we call it the blank screen, where we swap visible spaces. So if we create anything on the screen, I do, for example, if you want to hide, throw this in a no-show, we just highlight everything, click swap visible spaces, and we can see what we have on the swap visible. We have the axis that we just hide over here right before we start. And if we highlight this, we want to throw it in a blank level, we just click hide show, and everything right now it's in no show level. Okay, so let's click swap again, and let's click a right click over here, hide show. Let's bring the axis back. So we got our axis. See, right click again, hide show, hide show. So now we bring it back up again. Okay, and I want to get a little bit familiar with those tabs, those icons. We can move them around. You can tell those are hidden over here. Let's bring it up, or we can move it on the top right here. We have a little bit more space, and we have over here the pad option, pocket, shaft, ribs, grooves. Those are all the toolbars that we can create a solid. We're gonna go through them pretty quick, but first of all, I just want to make sure we got pretty familiar with the mouse rotating the pad around, zooming in and out, and we want to give it a try to create a solid after this.